Hello, dear friends. We are experiencing a chaotic era unlike any other generation. Jan Val Elam. Opinion piece. Highlight. Turning point. A new era starts. Trust in intuition. Coordinated events. Accelerated transition. Wars will be impossible. Collective consciousness rises. Operation Financial Liberation. Let's start. The beginning of a new era is near, according to X-Spirit. In 2026, a crucial transition is predicted, promising spiritual enlightenment, harmony, and advanced abilities. Predictions include open contact with beings from other worlds, an increase in collective consciousness, and the end of wars for those who raise their frequency. While some speak of cataclysms, other contactees predict spiritual leap, open contact, and the transition to a fifth-dimensional reality. The end of wars, harmony, new abilities, and immortality. That is what awaits humanity according to them. It is July 2026. Many people are already experiencing inner changes, heightened intuition, and astonishing coincidences. Why is there so much light amidst such gloomy predictions? Perhaps 2026 is a crossroads. Everyone has their own path. Those who raise their frequency will enter into harmony and new possibilities. Time is short. What will you choose? Pay attention to your inner state. It will become your primary guide. Bashar or Daryl Anka announced the beginning of open contact. Humanity will encounter hybrids, receive new technologies, and enter an era of harmony. There will be a separation of consciousness. Those who are prepared will advance to a higher timeline of love and unity. Wars will be impossible at this new frequency level. Irina Pozoroya said that physical contact will resume in 2026. This is a key year for interstellar union, and global contact with beings from other worlds will be impossible. The visitors are studying us and are willing to help in our development. The outcome depends on humanity, but the planet is not in danger. Sekhmet, Metatron, and other sources announced an accelerated transition to the fifth dimension by 2026. Old programs are crumbling. Synchronicity is increasing, and trust in intuition is growing. People are beginning to jump between timelines and connect with their future selves. Through the activation of the light body, abilities such as teleportation, instant regeneration, and the release from disease will emerge. Technology combined with spiritual growth will generate the effect of immortality or an extension of life. Collective consciousness will rise, and wars will disappear on their own. Disclosure Operation. According to Patrick Da Costa, starting in July 2026, a series of coordinated events suggest that the long-awaited global financial reset is no longer a theory but a functioning reality. From the stabilization of Iraq to the activation of cutting-edge technology, the world is witnessing the dismantling of the old matrix of debt and enslavement. Recent events in the Middle East indicate that the mechanisms for this reset are aligning. The implementation of a new customs system and a strategic shift toward an asset-centric economy have paved the way for a new monetary era. This transition is reinforced by the introduction of new banknotes. By integrating tangible assets as collateral, the international community is signaling a definitive move away from traditional fiat debt systems. This convergence of geopolitical and financial reforms suggests that we have reached a climax. Simultaneously, a large-scale covert operation led by a coalition of over 200 nations is underway to dismantle the influence of the dark side. This mission coincides with the activation of the quantum financial system, which ends the traditional banking monopoly and initiates a financial restructuring. Countdown. We are witnessing the most important moment in human history. The countdown has begun. The financial iron curtain has just shattered. Treasury sources confirm that Financial Liberation Operation 0706 has been launched. This represents the decisive victory and the end of the old system's control. This is the long-awaited Great Awakening. The old world is dying. A new financial era is being born. The white hats are carrying out the operation. The people have triumphed. The quantum system is described as powered by advanced technology. The ship containing the quantum system was placed on the far side of the moon, where it is impossible to manipulate. Blackout. While forces secure strategic locations worldwide, the public is advised to prepare for the activation of the system. The emergency broadcast system will trigger a temporary global communications blackout to facilitate the transmission of truth-revealing documentaries. This blackout aims to ensure the return of natural law and inform the public about the transition to sovereign digital ledgers. Since Monday, July 6, 2026, the quantum financial system has bypassed traditional central banks. This measure has linked historical gold-backed assets to the new ledger, rendering the old banking cartels obsolete. These assets are now audited, verified, and locked for liquid distribution, functioning as a financial atomic bomb against global corruption. The activation of Level 4B marks the official start of the global financial reset and the Operation Financial Liberation. This shift entails debt forgiveness, returning wealth to the people. With the Fed's closure, the world is moving into a new era of liberation, consolidated by a transition taking place between July 6th and 15th. Technology. This transformation transcends finance and security. After 128 years of repression, the science of Nikola Tesla has resurfaced thanks to the Medved network. This technology uses resonant frequencies to restore cellular energy and neurological function, treating the body as an electromagnetic system. This global shift suggests a monumental transformation in power, bringing an end to the old economic order. The narrative indicates that the underground bases have been destroyed and that humanity is entering an era of individual sovereignty, protected by advanced quantum technology and capabilities that prevent challenging the new authority. Pentagon sources confirm that a restructuring of the financial system is underway. and that the dark side has lost the battle to install its own digital fiat system. Under natural law, secret treaties signed in Rome during the ancient empire, which granted private central banks the legal right to treat sovereign citizens as collateral, were declared null and void. As the new system took control of the Vatican central system, the hidden records of every human being's true identity were exposed. This means that all synthetic debt bonds were removed from the master database. Martial law. A temporary martial law is envisioned, which would activate the emergency broadcast system on all cell phones to announce 48-hour communication blackout, followed by 10 days of global incommunication status. During those 10 days, everyone will be asked to stay home for 5 hours a day. Meanwhile, the media will be flooded with documentaries revealing the truth via television, radio, and the internet. Martial law will protect civilians, while truth will flood all screens via Starlink satellite system. It would be a moment of communications reset, with cell phone towers neutralized, the banking system frozen, and ATMs and cards blocked. Patents. It has been discovered that the Patent of Trademark Office has granted, in the last 44 years, 6 patents for devices that remotely manipulate the human nervous system using electromagnetic fields emitted by television screens, computer monitors, and mobile phones. The weather is no longer a weapon. For the first time since 1979, the skies belong to no one. For the first time since 1913, the world monetary system would be under the control of the people. Since Friday, May 1st, 2016, the quantum financial system has been operating secretly worldwide. Intelligence sources confirm that the cabal has spent the last 72 hours trying to block gold-backed sovereign debt securities held in European vaults. The quantum financial system has bypassed central bank intermediaries and directly mapped historical assets onto the sovereign ledger. The gold reserves backing these sovereign bonds have already been audited, verified, and locked in the storage systems of the liquidity distribution vaults. Emergency. Note the sudden and unprecedented emergency meetings taking place right now in the clearing houses of Zurich and London. The coalition has revoked their private digital trade tracking codes. The former bankers can no longer use these historical assets to fund their artificial corporate schemes, and the wealth has been reclaimed for humanitarian projects. The servers have been wiped clean, the validation codes are active, and the former administrators have lost their influence over the global baseline. Incredible. The predictions suggest that November 2026 could mark humanity's first mass contact with beings from other worlds, which could have global implications, as various sources agree on this significant event. Beneath the famous White House ballroom, they are building a jump portal where you can go anywhere. Hilton hotels near airports have jump doors. You enter the elevator and input the code to jump. Regarding the famous Black Pyramid hidden on Mount Hayes in Alaska, the black stones contain nanodiamonds that generate antigravity by capturing neutrinos that spin at the speed of light. The extraordinary properties of the black stone are also attributed to elite units. Soldiers who wear the black stone in their uniforms are immune to missiles and bullets due to its anti-gravity property. One example is the one they used to overthrow Maduro. They can also generate a sonic field to waken the enemy. Sweets contained in the black stone were used in Iran to extract uranium. They jumped from a plane without parachutes and landed softly in anti-gravity. Their infiltration methods are equally advanced. They were then able to sprint up the mountains, blasting their way through as the plasma shield melted the rock, destroyed the uranium, and disappeared. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.